Welcome to Politically Handicapped, where we handicap political bets and other things that we bet on Kalshi. I'm Dave, and this is my father, who's also Dave.
Hello. Dave, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. So I got to tell you, coming into this, I did my usual review of my Kalshi account, if that's what you're supposed to call it. I'm not sure. And I realized I didn't make a lot of bets the last week or so, primarily because a lot of them were not very interesting. It's still a lot of that future stuff, what's going to happen in 2028.
Yeah.
And that's fine, but it's hard to find something that's current because, I like the action, right? I want to make money now.
Yeah.
So I was looking at some of the mentions and what have you, and I'm mad because last week I was away, as were you, and Davos was going on. I think it's in Switzerland, where the elites all get together and they tell the elite class tells the political class how to run the world, which was put a little bit on its head because Trump made sure to tell them what he really thought. Which was really fun. But I'll bet I was thinking there must have been a lot of action on Kalshi for what was going to be said and what have you. So I'm sorry we missed it, but there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
I thought that maybe we could start with last bets, things that we've bet on that perhaps we need to.
Yeah, let's go back to the ledger.
Okay.
All right. So I'm taking it back to. Actually, I had a bet on the J.P. Morgan earnings call.
Oh, cool.
So this was
when was it? It already took place?
Yeah. So this was about a week and a half ago.
Okay.
Since we missed a week, and I bet that he would just say the word tariff, and I lost.
Wow, really?
Which was surprising.
So this was J.P. Morgan.
Yeah, and this is
Jamie Dimon.
Week and a half ago. Tariff. It's hot.
Jamie Dimon's obviously speaking on that call as the CEO and president, I think, of J.P. Morgan Chase. Now, it's interesting that you bring that up, though, because did you see that President Donald J. Trump is suing J.P. Morgan Chase, and I believe he added Jamie Dimon as a person to the lawsuit because they debanked him after January 6th, 2020.
Yeah, so wouldn't it be logical that he'd take the shot when the
About the tariffs? Yeah, but the problem is the tariffs, nothing came true.
Well,
all of the gloom and doom about inflation and the stock market crashing and international trade coming to a halt, none of it came true. So he couldn't really tag him with it.
They're also, it seems like the Supreme Court might go the other way with this.
Meaning?
They might go in favor of Trump.
Yeah, you had sent me a text. I think it had that was a bet, and I think that
I've been betting this quite a bit.
No,
that they will go in favor of Trump.
Oh, I agree with you. So just so we're clear,
it was looking very bleak.
Sure.
I mean, the experts were saying it was at 20% or something on Kalshi, and the experts are like they're absolutely going to rule the other way and say the tariffs are no good. So
just to be clear, what we're talking about. So Trump puts in these extraordinary tariffs when he first gets into office, and they were up, they were down, and apparently we've collected billions of dollars as a result of this. And it had cut the trade deficit in half in October, right? So those are all the benefits of it. And the Supreme Court heard arguments about whether or not the president has the power to unilaterally choose to put tariffs on foreign countries, the goods coming in from foreign countries, and the Supreme Court initially, it seemed, because what they do is they listen to the Supreme Court, the questions that they ask of the litigants. And from those questions, the experts, so-called experts, were saying that those questions indicate that the court is going to disallow these tariffs. So Trump strategically waits months after those arguments were heard and decides to start putting on social media, hey, if the Supreme Court goes the other way and says I can't impose these tariffs, we're going to have to refund these billions of dollars, which will be a tremendous burden to the people of the United States, et cetera. So and then you started hearing that the Supreme Court was kind of going the other way.
Yeah, and then they didn't make a decision when they were supposed to.
Yeah, because what my prediction is, and I bet that the Supreme Court would not disallow Trump's tariffs. Yeah, because to do so would be such a political upheaval and might actually be ignored and start a constitutional crisis.
That's true too, right? How do you enforce it?
It would just be it would be such an enormous circumstance that nobody could control. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to do one of these things where they say he doesn't have the power, but in a situation where he's already exercised the power, not knowing whether or not he had the power, because he legitimately did it, right? No one stopped him. There was nothing to stop him. There was no real statute or legislation that could stop him. And they're going to say, so we're going to let this go.
And then going forward.
And then going forward, you can't do it anymore.
I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah.
I wonder how that would play out for the bet itself. Well, I guess
they allowed it. I mean, it's not about prospectively; it's about retroactively, right?
Yeah, I want to see what the will the Supreme Court rule in favor of Trump's tariffs. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's close. It's close.
No, I'm
if they ruled like that, it would be close, right? I mean,
I'm going to say
that
that's
you
a
won
definitive. That's I mean, if Kalshi goes the other way on that, I assume that the people in Minneapolis are going to go crazy. Because I think they're going to go crazy because they're going to say you're confusing us, and we are already confused enough, and we're going to have to riot.
I also think that that if the tariffs are allowed and it continues, my theory is that he gets rid of the federal income tax for at least a year.
Maybe, and that'll certainly put everybody on
And
notice.
if you can bet that, bet that. I'm telling you, if there's a bet about that, because he's talked about this already, that we'll have enough money that we don't need to have federal income tax.
But to be clear, my understanding of what he's really proposing in that regard or suggesting is that it would be people that make less than $100,000 and then, $170 if you're married, filing jointly. But my point is,
it'd be enough to be worth it.
But what people don't realize is that I believe that people that make less than like $50,000 or $45,000, they don't pay income taxes currently. So, and people that are at the $100,000 range, I think, not being a tax expert, that they're only paying taxes on that additional $50 that they earned.
Really?
So to do away with that tax is so minuscule because the top, I don't know what's the math, but it's like the top 5% or 10% of taxpayers pay 90% of the income tax anyway. But whatever, it's fun. Yeah. And I like it, and I like the way it sounds, and I love that Trump says it, and it makes everybody crazy.
So, there wasn't that much to bet on, but going back to the ledger here.
Yep.
So I'm stuck in Turks and Caicos, and I
Last
can't.
week.
Yeah, last week, and I can't bet on NFL because on FanDuel and the traditional betting market. So then I went to Kalshi, and I realized that they have that capability.
Yes.
And they have the capability to create what they call combos, which is, I don't know, I guess they can't call it parlays for some reason. I think they're trying to separate themselves from the from the betting markets because I don't know, I sent you the lawsuit. There's a lawsuit against Kalshi right now regarding that they're acting as a sports book and pretending to be what's the term that they use.
Yeah, because just if I could pick up for 1 second on what you're saying is that now you know that in 2026 they started this new rule that you can only claim 90% of your losses against your gambling winnings, right? It used to be if I won $100 and I lost $100, I had a zero tax liability. The way it is now, if I win $100 and lose $100, I can only claim $90 of my loss, so I have a $10 gain, and I have to pay taxes on that $10.
Yeah.
However, that is not the case with Kalshi. Kalshi is considered to be an investment, as a prediction market, so therefore it's not covered by that. And I think that Kalshi and all of the prediction markets are trying very hard to make sure that they're distinguishing themselves, to your point, from the actual gambling.
So they use different terminology.
So a combo is a parlay?
Yeah, and there's limitations. It's not the same as FanDuel, but you could have just as much fun. I did.
Sure.
So I lost basically everything in the portfolio doing that, but it was a good time.
So you're saying that when you went over to sports, you lost the money that you had won on predicting world events and cultural.
And it was a nice portfolio up till then.
It was. I know. You built up quite a.
So that was my ledger. You have any history?
I do. So you know what it is? I don't know where we left off. So I'll just come up with the ones like the win that I had, and I think we did mention this last time, is that I had bet. I don't even know the date, but it was what will Mamdani say during his next announcement, and to me it was a free money bet. I said affordable or affordability. And I think that from now until the end of his term, if that bet is available for the next time he talks, take it because you're going to win. I won 20% in like 2 days.
Yep.
And as I've said, as an IRR, that's a pretty good return.
It's great.
People, you only won $2. Well, I could have won $20,000 if I was willing to bet $100,000. And honestly, I would have if they would take the bet. They, they have limitations based on who's on the other side of the bet.
Yep.
Also, this one, oh my God, I can't believe I forgot about this. I'm so glad that I'm looking at this ledger, which on Kalshi is called Your History. So there was a bet, and I think I want to see if I can see when I took it. I can't, but it was a bet that said that on January 9th, 2026, I wanted to do a sidebar about this, that Trump's approval rating on January 9th, 2026 would be 44.1%. No, I'm sorry. It would be 44.3 or higher. Okay. And at that time, he had just snatched up Maduro. He was taking care of business in Minneapolis, and he was riding high, right? So I took the bet. I think it was like the 8th that I took it, or the 7th, right? And his approval rating was, I didn't even know what his approval rating was at the time, but I said, that's the high end of his approval rating. He's going to exceed it because everyone's so happy about the Maduro thing, except for, the folks that were rioting in the streets about a narco-terrorist being snatched up and arrested. So anyway, so the January 8th, it was at like 44.1, okay? And I said, I have to understand a little bit more about this. And they based it on the Real Politics, which is I think it's called realpolitics.org. And it's a site that averages other polls. So it's the average of other, the ABC, Quinnipiac, all that. And it ended up at 44.1 on January 9th against my 44.3. And I immediately said to myself, and this is why I wanted to do the sidebar, I believe that what's happening here is the same thing that's been happening in the NBA and the same thing that's been happening at college basketball, which is that someone at Real Politics, and I'm not making an accusation, I'm concerned that someone at realpolitics.org is betting on this. And what I'm actually demanding at this time that Real Politics, I think it's realpolitics.org, whatever. They know who I'm talking about. Whoever Kalshi bases this on, I think Kalshi should also demand this as well, is that people that work at realpolitics.org are not allowed to bet on the prediction markets, right? Because if they are allowed to bet, that explains why Trump's approval rating stopped at 44.1% when it was ever rising at that time. And it would be very, very easy, whether it's Real Politics or Quinnipiac. Don't forget, Quinnipiac is a college, right? So it's probably college students. Think about it. Same college students as the kids playing college basketball. There's two different. And these kids that are the statistics geeks, they've never been offered $5,000 to change numbers or shave points. And I'm telling you right now, I don't, again, not an accusation, but a concern and maybe a belief that points were shaved off of that Trump approval rating, and I absolutely demand that Kalshi demand from Real Deal, what did I say it was called? Real Politics? I think it's called Real Politics. That they have to, their staff have to sign something that says they are not allowed to bet, and their immediate families not allowed to bet on prediction markets. Because if that's not the case, then pack it in.
Yeah.
Because this is no better than a bookie.
So there's some rigging going on because another thing that was brought to my attention was, you can bet on like the late night talk shows.
Really? I haven't seen that. Is that mentioned?
Some of them. There was one in particular. I'm not going to say a name because I might try to take advantage of this, but
me?
No, I might.
Oh.
Where it's actually a pre-recorded show.
Wow.
So you could technically show up, place your bets, and then know what you're getting into.
You could sell the information.
This is what someone told me. I don't know if it's true.
It's got to be Jimmy Kimmel.
No, it's not.
Really? Jimmy Kimmel? Jimmy Fallon?
No, none of the big names. There's a smaller name.
Oh, I know who it is. Fucking Tucker Carlson. He's all over.
You think he's a smaller name?
Than a
little bit.
major late night guy like those guys? I mean, I think so. Don't get me wrong. I love Tucker Carlson. And I'm a big fan of Tucker. I'm still a little annoyed about some of what he did in terms of saying with certainty that certain things were going to happen and they didn't. Like the announcement that we were, bombing Iran or something. But
I want to bring us into our next section, which is I'm All In, which is our current bets.
Yes.
And I want to talk about Greenland.
Again.
We got to keep talking about
Hey,
it.
listen, I'm up for it.
It's
You
a
know, I
hot
try to
topic.
avoid repeating topics. I'm always accused of talking too much about the same thing. If you bring it up, it's fresh. What do you got?
It's current because things are happening.
True.
It's not.
Did any of your bets turn to yes?
Well, the big one that I have is will the U.S. take control of any part of Greenland by January 2029?
29?
Yeah, so I've got plenty of time.
Is that still a bet?
And it's only at 47%. I got in it way lower. What did I get in at? They're probably offering me a cash out. They are. Yeah, I got in a little bit lower. And anyway, so now it's almost at a 50-50.
50-50.
Yeah.
That's a certainty.
I know.
Just to be clear, that's the bet of the week. That's a free money bet. Whether or not the United States is going to take control of any part of Greenland.
Now, can I talk about the rules before you say that?
Yeah.
If the United States acquires any part of Greenland before January 2029, that's the rule.
Oh, really?
And then
it doesn't say. It doesn't have a further definition about what exercising control means.
Any part of Greenland must come under formal governance or jurisdiction of the United States, either as a state, territory, or other classification within the U.S. system where it was not previously. Merely leasing a given part in the territory is not criteria for payout. So,
well,
I mean, but that was what we always thought it was. But with Trump's recent announcement, I wanted to know what you think about that.
Well, he has ruled out. He has said at least that he rules out any type of a lease arrangement. At the time, I think he was talking about the entire country, that we would not take a lease agreement like a 99-year lease or something like that, because he felt that he could not commit to protecting a lease as opposed to something that we owned as an actual U.S. territory, right? Mm-hmm. But with that definition that you read is concerning, just in that it says that the United States has to take governance based on a designation. I might be changing the words a little bit, but based on a designation under U.S. law. Mm-hmm. And it mentions a state, territory, or some other designation. I don't know what other designations there are.
I mean,
protectorate maybe, which that might work. But
would territory? I mean, would that be something that you think could?
Well, isn't Puerto Rico a territory of the United States?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Could I mean, that's a full-fledged. That's ours, right? And so I think that. I mean, listen, I don't know what these people were talking about at Davos, which is where this conversation took place after Trump basically said, actually what he said is, we're not going to attack militarily. That's out of the question. Mm-hmm. But you could do it, and we will remember that you did it, or you will not do it, and we'll remember that you didn't do it.
I'm trying to pull up the statement, because at one point the odds on Calstria actually went up to 70%.
To yes?
To yes.
And it's down to 40?
Now we're back to 47. So we're back down to about 50-50. Now, because this was 2 days ago when mm-hmm. things were a little bit crazier, because he had put out a message. I was trying to find it. But he also had said that he doesn't want the Nobel Peace Prize anymore.
It was what?
He said that he doesn't feel obligated to focus on getting the Nobel Peace Prize anymore because he's not focused on peace anymore, which was him trying to say like, I'll do my thing.
That's hilarious. But he did get a Nobel Peace Prize.
Technically,
right? This woman who gifted it to whim. She won it last year,
cool.
And she's from Venezuela.
Yeah,
that's pretty wild. I mean, I think she was trying to get the presidential spot. That was sort of a gesture of goodwill to him on that.
Oh, I have a loss I wanted to talk about from the Ledger.
Sure.
Who is going to be the new Fed chair?
I saw this. You had the guy with the W last name, right?
No.
Reader?
I had Hassett.
Oh, he's not even running anymore.
He's done, yeah.
It's Weeder versus somebody.
Yeah, so now Reader has become 50%.
Yeah, and so the other guy's like 30.
Warsh,
right?
Yeah, he's fallen.
What's his name?
Warsh.
Yeah. But I think they're saying that this Reader guy, as long as there's no reason to have to pull his name for some scandal or something else, that he's going to be the guy.
All right, I'm going to take us into some perspective bets.
Before you, please, that's good. Yeah, that's what I was actually looking at.
So the Supreme Leader bet.
Supreme Leader of what?
Ali, how do I say his name? Khamenei. Out as Supreme Leader before September 1st, before July 1st, before April 1st, before March 1st.
I took July 1st.
Okay. Why?
Because what we've recently seen in Iran is that the people are very upset,
They are.
and they're using force to keep those folks down. And the last time we saw something I think similar, perhaps was Tiananmen Square, 1989, when the students in Beijing were trying to rise up through civil disobedience, and that ended very poorly. And China moved on. And the reason is because China is a stable country in and of itself, and it has a functioning government. Whether you agree with their philosophies is irrelevant. In Iran, you have a propped up circumstance. A lot of it was based on lies, right? Because we've been told for 40 years since they had taken the embassy in Tehran, when they took the hostages, that they're a big bad country, and they've got all sorts of ways. They used to tell us that the Revolutionary Guard, which is their main army, was like the third most deadly army in the world. Blah blah blah, and they had some nuclear weapons. Blah 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 blah. And then Trump just goes in and drops a couple of big, the biggest conventional weapons we have on them, on their nuclear sites, and they didn't know we were there until we left. They were decimated, and no one came to their aid. So where are they going with this? Like they're ruling a country where no one wants them to rule, including their own people.
Yeah.
And people can only be slaughtered for so long before there are no more people, and before the other people around this lunatic say, "I got to kill this guy." So it might not be that he leaves peacefully. I think his own people are going to kill him. Wow. I think there's already talks going on, just like Maduro. You think his people weren't talking?
Oh, sure.
To the CIA?
I mean, they didn't seem to care that he was gone.
Nobody did. The same thing with this guy.
The only people who cared actually were a select few people in New York City.
Yes, that is correct. I mean, Mayor Mamdani,
yeah,
he was quite upset. But yeah, and he'll probably be upset if Khomeini goes down and goes out. I guess they'll have to riot in Minneapolis, right? I mean, that's given. Yep. That's why they never put that on the Cal sheet, by the way, because that's 100%. Like, if this happens, will they riot in Minneapolis? And it's always defaults to yes. So there's no bet to be made because there's no one on the other side of it, you know. But I think Khomeini's out by July. I have two interesting ones, three maybe. I have to go back to some old stuff, right? Because that's what we're doing. It's a sort of a retro episode because we've been doing this for so long. Snow in New York City this month. Everyone might remember my famous Christmas bet where I wanted there to be snow. All it needed was 1.1 inch of snow on Christmas Day.
I don't think it was that close.
Well, it snowed the next day, like 12 inches.
Oh, you only needed 0.1. That would
0.1. Any precipitation that was considered snow, I would have won. Anyway, so now they're saying, will there be over 20 inches of snow in New York City this month?
20 is the line?
20 is the line. There's a lower line too.
Yeah, I was at the.
But it pays less.
15. Yeah.
But so 20 inches this month. Tomorrow. Sunday. Today's Friday. Yep. Sunday the 25th, I believe it is. There's expected to be 14 inches of snow. Now, I still have snow in my backyard, which I think fell this year. It had to have. It was after, no, maybe not. But whatever. I think that's a pretty decent bet. And if I win, wow, it's a big payout. $3 becomes 13.
Wow.
So I think that's a good bet. The other one is, and I know people get mad at me about this whole Bitcoin thing that this Bitcoin tear that I'm on, right? And I'm going to reiterate it again. Bitcoin is going to less than $200 in value.
Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash?
Bitcoin Cash is, I don't know what that is, and that was just, the spirit of the bet was correct, so I wasn't upset because they both lost anyway. But Bitcoin is going to go below $200 by July. Probably 100, and then get stable there. So there's a bet here. This is an interesting one, right? And I hope I have this understanding right. It says, will Satoshi move any Bitcoin by next year? So by the end of 2026, will Satoshi? Now Satoshi is supposedly the person that created Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Satoshi held some Bitcoin to himself. So when they're talking about moving Bitcoin, they're talking about him actually doing something with his Bitcoin.
Well, yeah, he's apparently like top 5 holders.
I would hope so. I mean, unless he's
in the world.
I mean, unless he's a moron, right? So this is my theory. we're going to definitely see Satoshi move his Bitcoin. Now, would we know? Is that because on the blockchain we can see? Like, I can go up and look and say, what's Satoshi doing today with his Bitcoin?
Yeah, I don't know if he's done anything though with his Bitcoin. We don't even know if he's alive.
We don't even know if his real initials are CIA, right? So, but what I'm thinking is that because he's obviously going to be in on this crash, when you see Satoshi move his money, and he has no regulatory reason to have to announce it in advance. He's going to go in, he's going to put all his little digits into his wallet and be all psyched up because he's remembered his key, and then he's going to sell, baby, sell.
Wow, that would be sick.
And you know who else is going to sell? Goldman Sachs. But see, what I understand about some of these hedge fund positions in Bitcoin is that they don't actually, I mean, they do hold some Bitcoin itself, but they're buying derivatives in Bitcoin. So they can make moves that are a lot less publicly detectable than if they owned actual Bitcoin. And I saw an interesting article the other day, which says this is a Instagram post by CryptoGit. Okay, so we know that it's legit, right? Because CryptoGit is a very well-known authority on cryptocurrency. Thus, why they're CryptoGit. And you know, I didn't know this when I was talking about Bitcoin dropping. They say every major bank just switched their 2026 choice from Bitcoin to what's ETH?
Ethereum.
Ethereum. And here is why. And I won't go into all of the reasons, but basically what they're saying is that the banks know, the hedge funds know, everybody knows they're going to dump Bitcoin before the November elections in 2026. I think it's going to happen by July, but they are going to dump it. And one of the reasons is that it will probably destroy the Republicans if Bitcoin drops. I think that's going to have a negative effect on the economy, and it's going to have a negative effect on Republicans. So, you know, that's going to be my prediction, and it's not a bet yet on Kalshi, and I don't know how they're going to put the rules. But I think that the Bitcoin fall to below $200 is going to be the next pandemic.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to bet that it'll hit 150 by June.
$150?
150,000.
Okay. So we're on, I mean, like I said, I'm taking action right now. Okay. I'll put up $10,000 against 10 million.
Wow.
But you have to have $10 million. Like, we have to put this into like a escrow account because I'm not playing that game.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's going to take it.
Why? That Bitcoin will drop to $200? Everyone's out there busting my balls.
It's just not worth it.
In the comments.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. Within a month.
You should bet somebody.
It's a 1% return, isn't it?
You should
no,
bet.
It's like a
you should
0.1.
actually. You should just bet.
We had our math wrong here, by the way.
You know what? You know what's crazy? When will it cross 100K again?
Never.
Wow,
it's
really?
going to complete the bottom. I can't wait until these are replayed. And people, you know, what's that thing that they say? This didn't age well. This is going to age extraordinarily well. And people are like, why didn't you like do something about it financially so that you could benefit from it? And it's because I can't find anybody to take the action. You know, and I know there's like put markets or something for Bitcoin, but they're very hard to navigate. And it sounds like a lot of them are shammy. So I don't want to get involved. But yeah, so anyway, so there's proof positive. CryptoGit is saying that the banks are basically angling to dump Bitcoin and watch it go to zero. And Satoshi, which I put my money against, is going to move his Bitcoin before that happens. As a matter of fact, we may see Satoshi move that money, those Bitcoin, in, I would say, where are we at? Valentine's Day. Actually,
Valentine's Day.
Here's my prediction. Valentine's Day is the day that Bitcoin drops significantly, not to $200, but I say that it drops more than 20% on, I'm not even saying before, on February 14th, Valentine's Day. It's going to be a sweetheart of a day, and I'm going to love it. Bitcoin's going down 20% from where it is today.
I like it.
I like it too. I love it. That's why I want it to be on Valentine's Day. It's gonna be my sweetheart.
What else you got?
Let's see. Like I said, it's been a tough week for picking bets. It's kind of like, you know what I feel like? It's like that off week between the playoffs and the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. You know, like everybody's talking, but they're just talking about the Super Bowl. There's nothing to talk about. What's actually happening.
Should we talk about the State of the Union coming up?
Sure. Is there a mentions section for that? I couldn't find it. What do you got?
So first of all, it's happening on February 24th.
Yes, and by the way, again, a reminder. Actually, two things. One is we will be broadcasting live for the State of the Union on Twitch. We'll give more details soon. That's going to be a lot of fun because we're going to be running a ticker. We're going to be making predictions in real time, and we're going to be taking possibly phone calls, or I don't know what you call them now, internet calls. And also, I want to point out that we have fallen into a regular schedule. So there should be a new episode out of Politically Handicapped every Monday, no later than 3 o'clock.
I mean, maybe.
We're doing our best.
So it's interesting too because everything's been pretty heavily bet already for the State of the Union.
Really, like bet out
even
of
though
existence,
even though it's still a month away.
Okay.
No, I'm saying there's a good amount of volume already on it. I mean, there's already $150,000 put towards it, which I mean, for an event that's a month away, I mean.
It's $150,000 in total against all action on the State of the Union?
On a mentioned market that's a month away. I feel like it's pretty significant. So it's going to be a big one.
Wow. Okay.
It'll probably be over $1 million in bets.
So, where's your action?
It's tough because you have like this Somalian thing, and it's like, is it going to be old news by then?
It's old news. It's old news now. If I hear the word Somali again,
you know what's crazy? I got my sweatshirt yesterday.
That's a beautiful. What does it mean? What does that say? Quality Learning Center?
Yeah.
Or Leering Center. There's a letter missing.
1-800-FRAUD.
I don't know what that's about.
But I got it yesterday and I was like, oh shit, like it's already over, you know?
Yeah, well, that's the problem when you're doing a podcast about current events. They very quickly become stale.
So I think that's a good bet. No.
You can bet no too. That's
I don't think that he's going to bring that up.
Gotcha. So here's what we're going to do. These are State of the Union mention bets. We can go yes or no. So let's just go down the line and we'll figure out what we're doing. Sleepy Joe, yes. He can't help himself. He cannot help himself 1 year from...
Yeah, he's got it's a good callback to where we've been. Yeah, I agree. Yes,
I also believe that the Sleepy Joe and the blaming of the Biden administration, he will actually have to stop doing it. Now, I don't think that he's wrong for blaming Biden. I don't think that the implications of a previous 4-year disaster are cut off the day he got into office and all of a sudden he's responsible for everything going forward. Sure. I mean, he's responsible, but the ramifications of what happened, do linger. And in that case, they'll probably linger for the rest of, the century. Yeah. Right? But anyway, I think he says
That's
Sleepy
a yes.
Joe.
That's a yes.
Vaccine, autism, one or the other or both?
There's going to be a big health thing to this, right?
Health in terms of what? Oh, go ahead. I'll give my thought in a second.
I mean, health in terms of he's going to reference to RFK and the initiatives. I mean, they just flipped the food pyramid upside down.
They did. They also, relevant to this, they just changed the childhood vaccine schedule. They reduced it from like 19 to 11 shots. The same as I think Denmark.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because we want to take over Greenland. So that's what a strategy, right? Mm-hmm. He reduced our vaccine schedules the same as Denmark so the Greenlanders would feel welcome.
Yeah, I don't really understand why people are like against that. You can still get the vaccine.
Of course you can. Insurance still has to pay for it.
Yeah, so it's not like...
Because they're lunatics.
That big of a deal.
It's been drummed into their heads for some reason that vaccines are safe and effective, and for some reason that means I have to take it.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
I don't either. And,
I'm going to go yes.
I go with yes also. One last thing on the vaccines. If you get the vaccine, you should then be insulated from someone who doesn't have it.
That should be how it works, right?
Unless, of course, you have a compromised immune system and you're going out into the world collecting infections or whatever. Anyway, windmill.
Yeah, what's with that?
Okay, so windmill, he talked extensively about windmills at Davos. Mm-hmm. Excuse me, I think it's called Davos. Davos? Davos. It has to be Davos. It's got to be Davos. So anyway, he's speaking, he goes, these ugly windmills, they're putting them in the middle of the water, they're all over the place. And he goes, let me tell you something. Any country that invests in windmills are stupid people. Hard stop. They're stupid people. And he kind of moved on. I think it's a 50-50, honestly.
I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say yes. So we're going to diverge on that. Okay. You just brought up the Somalian. I say, you know what?
I say no.
You say no. See, my gut tells me no. Actually, I should say my mind tells me no. My gut tells me he can't help himself.
Really?
But I mean, what date is it? The 22nd?
It's 24th
The
of
24th
February?
of February.
So
See,
that's a
it might,
long time.
Yeah, but it might resurface again, because, he wants to embarrass Tim Walsh pretty badly and that Mayor Fry.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, why don't you go no? I'll go yes. And it's kind of like betting on black and red on roulette. We just kind of cancel each other out. I like that. Okay. What's next?
Highest inflation.
Now
In what context would he say that?
I can tell you this, under sleepy Joe Biden, who wanted to buy windmills because he's stupid and got the vaccine and the boosters, who loved the Somalian people, created the highest inflation ever.
All right. I'm going yes with the highest inflation.
All right, that's good. I like that word game, though.
Yeah.
All right? Okay, so you're going highest inflation. I say yes.
Drill, baby,
You
drill.
said no or yes to inflation? Highest.
No, I'll say yes.
And it has to be highest inflation.
Because I could see him using it almost in that exact sense.
Because the word they leave out to trick you is ever.
Yes.
Because there's no other, like you said, like why would someone just say, oh, out of nowhere, highest inflation?
Yep.
There needs to be context. Okay, go. What's next?
Drill, baby, drill.
Bang. That's
Really? That's a guarantee.
I almost think that's a free money bet. He loves saying it's a very exciting thing to say.
It is.
Drill,
It's
baby, drill. And he's only got, drill,
It's at
baby, drill. He's going to
57%,
say it. He's going to say it. What else we got?
Hoax.
I mean,
In what context would I mean? Because there's been so many. So I want to know
that's
which
what I'm
one he would be
thinking.
referring to.
he usually uses the term hoax primarily when talking about the things that have been done to him.
Sure.
The Russian hoax, the criminal hoax, all those things. So I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I would say no as well.
But just for context, the odds I believe are favoring yes. Right now it's at a 66% yes.
So this is an interesting, because usually we don't have bets where it's favoring yes and we go no. Yeah, that's like a hard thing to do.
Yeah, but it'll pay higher for the no.
Oh yeah.
All right, cool. Then I'll let you start.
This one's always a trap.
What do you got?
It's always a trap.
What is it?
Crypto/Bitcoin. It's they put it into every single one. He almost never says it, but this is obviously a very different caliber of speech.
This is a free money bet as far as I'm concerned. You know why?
Why?
Because when crypto drops 20%, Bitcoin drops 20% on February 14th, February 24th, still going to be stinging. So he's definitely going to say crypto or Bitcoin based on how I see the world in the next 4 weeks.
Okay. I'm going to say, I could see him saying crypto. I think I'd go yes. Even though it's at 36%.
I tell you the truth, other than my fantasy about what I think is going to happen, which will happen, I don't see him saying it.
You don't think it says
because like you said, it's the nature of and scope of the speech.
It's a trap bet every time. So.
I know. I'm going to let you.
All right, Maha, make America healthy again. I mean, that's a guarantee. It's only at 70%. By the way,
over anything?
Mine might be showing up differently than yours.
Okay, go ahead with what you got.
But yeah, 70%. I mean, I think it's a guarantee, and even at 70%, I think it's still a good investment.
See, I wish we could do a combo bet here of Maha or Make America Healthy and vaccine/autism, because that's a definite parlay.
Agreed.
Yeah. So
maybe
we're both
in a matter of minutes.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be in the same sentence.
What do you have?
Oh, I have 8 War, which again,
I never really understand this.
But you won that one.
I did, but I don't understand.
So what it is that he has been saying that he won.
Finished all the wars. Yeah.
He finished 8 wars.
Yeah.
He solved 8 wars that had gone on since the beginning of time.
Ridiculous.
And he says it.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you that I think that as he summarizes, that's something to keep in mind, that the State of the Union is also a summary of his accomplishments.
Definitely.
So I say 8 War is a yes. It's at 74% already. Get in now. Get in now if you're going to do it, because otherwise there's going to be no money in it. Yep. The other one is UFC. Absolutely, he will say UFC.
Really?
He's having a UFC fight at the White House, isn't he? When is that?
Oh, yeah, it depends. If it's really close, I'm going to say yes. If it's not, I'm going to say
Is he making any money from it, or his family?
Usually he does.
Yes, he's going to promote the crap out of it. That's a big promotion. But I will say no for UFC.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
Yeah, I'm going to say no.
Transgender is at 75%.
To say yes? To say transgender?
Yeah. I would take no.
Nah, I think he's off that.
I don't think that he's going to say that.
I can't even imagine the context in which he would say it, and it would do him no good.
I'm
And
thinking no.
The other thing to keep in mind, folks, is that this is an election year. This is a very important election for Donald Trump, even though he's not on the ballot, because if, in fact, the Democrats get in, as I have already bet and put my money on, if the Democrats get in to the Congress in the House is the one that impeaches him and the Senate it convicts.
Mm-hmm.
If the House goes Democrat, they're going to impeach our guy.
For sure.
The guy. I don't know if I should say our guy. Maybe.
Yeah,
and then and if the Senate and the House are both Democrat, he's going to be impeached and he's going to be removed wrongfully. So I say he stays away from the transgender because he's got his down ballot folks that, even though it's not really down ballot because he's not on the ballot, but he can't take the risk of alienating anybody out. That's no way. Transgender, they have it at 75% yes. That is a bargain bet. I won't say that it's free money, but it's a bargain bet.
Yep.
Make your bet. He's not going to say transgender.
Yeah, no pays well.
Mm-hmm.
No pays well.
Hmm?
I said no pays well.
It does. Okay, good. So I got him. I can't do it right now because I don't have proper funds in my account. My next one is ballroom.
That's a guarantee.
Agreed.
And it's looking like a guarantee at 76%. So if you're going to do it, now's the time.
What solidifies it even further is I read an article today that there's a federal judge that is leaning towards saying that Trump doesn't have the right to build the ballroom.
It's crazy.
Silly nonsense. He's going to say ballroom for sure. It's one of his signature accomplishments in his first year of his second term.
Mental institution?
No. Oh, well, what does he say?
A diss?
No, because what he says is that Venezuela and other countries emptied their jails and mental institutions to send the illegal immigrants that came here and settled in Minneapolis.
I would say no. It's at 70%, though. It's a risky no.
No, I mean, if he meant, well, let's put it this way: if he's talking about immigration, he's saying mental institution. But I don't think he's going to say it. I say no, and no is the pays more. So I'm going to go with no.
Any other ones that you think are interesting?
Olympics. He's definitely going to say Olympics.
Yes.
Because the Olympics are coming, as is the World Cup. And interestingly, they've coupled those together. He can say Olympics or World Cup, as I understand that bet. He's definitely going to say one or the other. That is a free money bet. Right now, it's at 86% yes. If you bet $100 on yes, you will win $115. It's a 15% return in less than a month. That is a free money bet. Bet it now. It is a free money bet that he is going to say either Olympics or World Cup at the State of the Union. Affordability,
I guess.
maybe, but affordability is a word that's more owned by the left than the right. So I don't know.
Well, true.
I don't know. It says here 88%, but did you bet him to say affordability? And he said that I did about Mandami, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Trump says affordability.
Wow. That'd be a big no.
Yeah, I'm going to hit that one hard. Does he say Trump?
Yeah, probably.
He will.
I mean, that's like
he always says
there's
Trump.
like stuff named after him that he says, or he'll just say it.
I think he says Trump.
That seems like I would take that, of course.
We are actually running out of time, so why don't we run through these last ones quickly? Does he say nuclear?
Yes.
I agree. Yes, it's at an 84% probability. Does he say the state of the or our union? Yes. Trillion?
Sure.
I think he loves the word trillion. So I think that will be said. And then ICE, National Guard. Yep. That is a 95% probability.
Yeah, you can't bet that one
I
anymore.
agree with the public. That is going to happen. All right. So I like that. I like doing that. I think that's
rapid fire.
I think that's fun. Guys, you hear our bets. We're going to summarize them for you. They're probably scrolling up the screen as I'm talking right now. We appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. Please make your comments. Make the nastiest comments that you can, because I really like responding to nasty comments.
Yeah, it's our favorite thing.
It's a lot of fun. And I hope you enjoyed this one. And as I said, the episodes will be coming out on a regular basis. And anything else you want to add for?
Nope, that's it. Bet smart.
Yeah, and I hope that by the time you see this, you're probably going to be covered in snow, which is fantastic. Stay safe. I hope you are now safe, because it's after the fact. And
I hope it's 20 inches.
Yes, I hope it's 20 inches, 20.1 inches. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.